Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, I can hear your voice. Good morning, everyone. It's okay. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Nasiha. I'm a student of Muhammadiyah Purworejo University, and I'd like to thank you all for coming on this seminar. And this seminar today have the theme the impact of school from home during pandemic. But in here, I just want to discuss and focus with two topic. My topic is the impact of school from home on the quality student learning during pandemic. And the purpose, the presentation today is to adapting perception about school from home. Okay, it is very interesting topic. So let's discuss together. Okay, we can know that during pandemic, all activity were carried out from home. One of them is learning activity. The learning activity was done with online or school from home, and we can saw the impact of school from home on the quality student learning during pandemic. But in here, I just want to talk about one set only. Yeah, because all things have two sides. One set is positive and one set is negative. And I just want to talk about positive impact from school from home on the quality student learning during pandemic. And the positive impact is the student have the new or the varied methods learning. For example, I'm sorry, what's your name? Andy. Andy, what's your hobby? Listening music. Okay. The student can choose. The student can choose the most comfortable or enjoy the learning style. For example, Andy can learning with listening music. I can learning with playing game or anything. Because the student feel enjoying with this learning, they can have the good achievement or increase the achievement learning. It's good for student. Okay, I think just it can I presenting today. I hope it is very useful for all. Thank you for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Thank you very much for the time that was given to me in this seminar. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anggi Yulia Hasanah and I am a student from University of Muhammadiyah Purworejo. The focus on my presentation today is the impact of learning online during pandemic for child in the psychological side. And the purpose of this presentation is to know how we to react the change in children behavior during study from home. I would to talk to you about the child learning from home. Maybe they get stressed, depression, or bored, or volatile emotion and dependent on others. Not so too long. The impact of online learning that has been through a year, especially to children in age school, affect to psychological ranking from bored with their activities home, or also the children required to adapt to learning from home that is certainly different from what is in the class. So that this may contribute to causes the children become depressed and potentially stress arising in children. The effect of online study are also difficult for some child who need more explanation to follow direct interaction with their teachers. And there is little chance to them playing with their peers who are a fun thing for school-age children. The emotional development is also unpredictable. Children tend to be moody and angry even if they learn from home. This is usually because parents are at home not give more attention when children doing study, and also because home situation is not conducive to child doing study. It is also because parents doing another activity in child school hours, like doing home activities or doing some work and another. Parents get stressed because their child cannot easily understand in the material, or the child not want to do study. And finally, parents just be angry and will tend to scold them. And usually for the first or second time, children maybe just crying or be quiet, but for the next time they will be argue and scold back their parent. It is really bad emotion, children. Next, during pandemic, study from home, the children also get school assignment, even their work. The dominant school assignment is completed by their parent. It will no doubt have a future impact because the child not do homework alone. The child will become dependent on the help of others. It can cause they can be a big thing, less self-sufficient to accomplish a task, and tend to be less confident. One day, children will back study from school where they will have to do this own course. If they are not trained to be self-done and confident in caring for their course now, it will be difficult to adapt when they have to study at school. Then, when a parent does their homework, the amount of studying or value that a child receives do not reflect on child abilities. Thank you. Will no doubt have a future impact because the child not do homework alone. The child will become dependent on the help of others. It can cause they can be a big thing, less self-sufficient to accomplish a task, and tend to be less confident. One day, children will back study from school where they will have to do this own course. If they are not trained to be self-done and confident in caring for their course now, it will be difficult to adapt when they have to study at school. Then, when a parent does their homework, the amount of studying or value that a child receives do not reflect on child abilities. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation. First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming today. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Seko Kasijaji and I'm a student of Universitas Muhammadiyah Purworejo. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the impact of online learning for students during pandemic. Even though online learning itself is not new for students, and we have also been doing or implementing for 8 or 9 months, online learning has a positive and negative impact for students, especially student health. My objective today, I will talk about the positive and negative impacts of online learning for student health. This presentation will focus on two main issues. The first is positive impact and the second is negative impact. First, I will talk to you about the positive impact. Online learning is carried out to respond to this pandemic crisis, so that education continues as usual. Therefore, online learning is an effort to keep education going without fear the student catching the coronavirus. And the positive impact of online learning on students is to maintain their body health and also increase their immunity. Next, I will talk about the negative impacts. The first negative impact is on a health. Online learning also requires children to stare at a laptop or gadget screens for several hours each day. Staring at gadget screen or laptop has mean of online learning can have negative impacts for a health. The impact is eyes becoming tired and dry due to prolonged exposure to the screen. In addition, if children frequently use gadgets, it can also trigger a minus. The second impact is lack or disruption rest or sleep time. Because it is online based, online learning has a flexible time where sometimes after completing learning there are still tasks to be completed. This makes students always chased by tight deadlines, so that usually makes students finish over time. The third impact is lack of activity with the surrounding environment. The amount of time spent following online learning throughout this day makes time for just playing or doing activities of that very limited. For example, on high school students are required to take online learning from morning until evening. After that, the time is used to rest. At night, it usually for study or completed their assignment. In contrast to offline learning, students do activities or interact with the other people in the surrounding environment. Okay, this is my presentation and thank you.
Hello, my name is Wulan Pramudita and I'm a student of Muhammadiyah Purworejo University. Today I'm going to talk to you about the social impact of online learning. As you know, the COVID-19 pandemic forces major change in every dimension of life, including education. Education inevitably has to adapt and innovate into the new normal. The social change that occurred during a pandemic, such as change in the personnel. During the pandemic, the role of the teacher has been replaced by the role of parents in educate the children at home, and change in the way of the structural parts are socially connected. During the pandemic, most schools still use offline learning in school classrooms. Currently, all educational institutions are required to use online distance learning technology. Students during the pandemic also have personality difference from one another. There are students when learning is transferred to online. They are motivated to study more seriously, creatively, and more enthusiastically than when learning in school classes. In contrast to other students with online learning, their learning can no longer be well controlled and tend to have a more negative impact than when learning directly in school. The importance of social interaction between students with family and the environment in harmony, especially the environment that has extensive knowledge. Without good social interaction, students will not get social meaning from a very important symbol system and can learn how they should use it as knowledge. In the view of dialectical constructivism, during the pandemic, it should give children the freedom to unlock their potential. So far, in formal education, many scientists have criticized offline learning in school classes because for them the learning loses its potential effectiveness in children. Precisely, with the existence of online learning, children are required not only to learn from online teachers, but also to be balanced with good and intense guidance from family and environment so that children's education is inseparable from the context that encompasses the language of the surrounding reality. A new change that should not be considered a disaster, but instead becomes a gift for education towards a new civilization in the future.
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Savita Chani. First of all, I want to say thank you for your coming in seminar today. The title of seminar is The Impact of Online Learning During Pandemic. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the economic impact of the pandemic when schools are online. Economics is an important subject to support children learning from a financial perspective. The need for children's school supplies such as books, pen, quiet books, and what is really needed during a pandemic are cell phone and quota. Of course, children cannot fulfill their needs. The needs of children are the responsibility of parents, but during the pandemic, there have been many layers, so that the task of parents who support from financing is cut short. Learning is very influential on the economic condition of teachers and parents of students because the main capital in online learning during the COVID-19 period was the internet quota and smartphones. Many people complain that their expenses have increased. Sorry. During the COVID-19 period was the internet quota and smartphones. Many people complain that their expenses have increased. Some teachers have even reduced their income or have their income cut because transportation costs are eliminated. Likewise, many students' parents were laid off, dropping out of work relation. For various reasons, even though online learning requires additional costs, most of the families who cannot provide online learning facilities are poor people, residents affected by corona, and residents in the whole family program (EKH) category. In order for smooth communication between teachers, students, and parents, a good signal is needed in online learning. For example, many teachers and parents of students install Wi-Fi in their home or provide internet data packages so that children learn comfortable and are not constrained by networks when learning online. So that with this, the expenses of teacher and parents will increase than usual.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. I'd like to thank you all for your participation in seminar today. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Desita Tiara Sani from University of Muhammadiyah Purworejo. I'm here today to listen about the impact of online learning during pandemic COVID-19, focusing in comparison of online and offline learning facilities. The purpose of the presentation is to show you about the online and offline learning facilities. As you guys know, during the COVID-19 pandemic, learning in school is very different. In an effort to prevent the COVID-19 pandemic, the government issued for students to study at home. Schools apply the online learning method. And to support learning process, the facilities needed are handphone, laptops, internet quota, books, even books and material delivered in form of PDF or PPT or other files. And learning support applications such as Zoom, Google Classroom, Google Classmate, Moodle, Ruang Guru, Zenius, and any others. And here, teacher is required to be able to design learning in media as an innovation by utilizing online media for the learning process to take place. Very different from offline learning, the facilities needed are classroom, table and chair, blackboards, marker, books, and other learning tools like pencil, pen, rulers, and any others. The facilities others that is LCDs, laptop, and others. Okay, maybe that's for me. If any there mistake, I apologize. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.